How's everybody doing? Say yeah. Y'all ready to get OTHERtone popping? Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Here we go.
I would like to introduce everybody to OTHERtone. This is a special N.E.R.D edition. So when you formed N.E.R.D, where were you at in your production career?
Well, we were the Neptunes first.
Right, you just
as
skipped
a group.
Yeah.
But I know, well, here's the thing. I know how they're taking that. They're taking that as like, no, well, we were producers first. No, we were actually a group called the Neptunes with all four of us. And what happened was we got signed. Teddy Riley discovered us through Tammy Lucas. We were there for a little bit. He asked me to write his verse for Rump Shaker. It was like we were signed, but like nothing was really happening. And I'm still grateful to him to this day for that opportunity. It's afforded all of us to be here right now in this room. Like everything that I have is through, it's through that guy. So, but nothing was really happening at the time. So we were like, he was like, why don't y'all just produce some songs, here and there. So they gave us an opportunity. We produced Tonight's the Night for Blackstreet. Rob was our manager, but he was still interning over at RCA. So he would get us meetings. And then like, I would blow the meetings because I would.
He would blow every meeting.
Okay.
He would blow every meeting. And we would go in with so much, excitement and optimism, but midway through the meeting, Pharrell had took over and he was on top of somebody's desk. He was rapping, he was going crazy. And I was still new at the whole thing, so I wasn't trying to blow my situation, but I wanted to kill him at the same time because I knew what was happening, but I didn't want to kill his joy either. So we would leave every meeting just heartbroken because...
And defeated. It'd be my fault. But
yeah.
I mean, look, I was young, I was Aries, and I was from Virginia. And you couldn't tell me
Someone hit us up about a question.
Was there disagreement within the band of which way you guys should have went for that album? And if so, whose ear was leaning more towards the Inside of Cloud, Life as a Fish songs?
Life as a Fish, the Inside of Clouds, that's where we wanted the album to go. But the record company at the time wasn't understanding where we were, and like the world was changing. The way that people were consuming music, that was like starting to change. Like people were starting to download music, and the internet became this incredible place where you could make music and not ever end up on a Billboard chart and sell a load of records, because the old system of you make a song, if in charts, or people see it in that world, and that sort of tells you where you are. That gives you like the sort of the barometer of what your song is and where it could go. Whereas this internet thing was coming, and the record company just didn't get that. So they were like, we need you guys to do some up-tempo records. We need you guys to do, something that we can play in the club. And so we acquiesced, and I hate Hot and Fun. I hate it.
I mean, the whole project was a dark time for us, though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And I was super depressed at the time.
I mean, dance music, EDM was at an all-time high. We were on a label where they were comparing us to other groups within the same umbrella, and we were having some internal issues. So it was just it was a dark, depressing, creative time.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, Help Me was like, if you listen to Help Me, that was like.
What album is it?
Nothing. I mean, look at the title. Nothing. I mean, you can just tell, like, we were there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Inside of Clouds, to me, I felt like was the jewel of that album, or Life as a Fish.
Yeah.
For sure.
There was some gems on that, man.
I Seen the Light. That one was a jam for me.
Monster.
But some of them other ones, like, just the up-tempo ones, you could just tell we were reaching to try to please the label. And that's when I felt like we were like losing ourselves, because we were like
party people.
Yeah, like I felt like our North Star was confused. We didn't know we weren't aiming for what we aimed for. We started aiming for what we felt like would be acceptable to the label. And that's what kind of like, but you know what, listen, I gotta tell you guys, like I don't regret one bit of it, because if we hadn't have made that like, that album and had that moment of confusion, I don't think we'd be here today. It wouldn't be so clear to us as to what we needed to do to get back to who we are. And I know, like, you know, me personally, I can't speak for Chad and Shay, but like I know, I'm an Aries, so I'm like always working on like who I am outward facing to the world. But I have no issue admitting to you guys that like, that was a tough fucking time. And I can tell you, just as sure as you guys are sitting here today, you need those tough times. That's what builds your character. When you fall, it's not only when you get up and how you get up, but being able to watch yourself get up. That's what reminds you of your resilience and your full potential. So it's like, for me, that was like a super dark time, and now I feel like we just in the middle of the sun right now.
And obviously the song that everybody knows now is Lemon with Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that come about? That was like one of the earliest ones, right?
Yeah. Lemon was in 2015, maybe, I think. 2014.
You made that song that long ago?
The second half. I wrote it for Puff. And he was like super busy at the time. That's Big Bro. He's the king. But he was like super busy at the time, and he ended up wanting to take his album to a different direction. So what we do, man, like we hold on to like beats that we feel like are special. We'll hold on to them. It's like wine. It only gets better with time if it's good. And so we had it, and then recut it. She cut the second half, and it was gonna be for her. And then I just thought about it like, you know what? It just needs a punk side of it, the first half. Like a lot of the songs on the album, like they like BC, AD, or like day and night, you know? And so the second half would be like night or like AD or whatever. But the first half, I was like, you know what? Let's just use the same bass line and just go like into like a punk type situation.
And how did you get Andre 3000 to give you a verse?
Dude, it almost didn't happen. And like, there were moments where like my stomach dropped out, like, cause I knew that if we gotta, you know, if 3 Stacks gave us a verse, I knew he was gonna go hard. So just had to talk to him, you know, because the thing about Andre is that we're all clear that he's a genius, right? Yeah. We're all clear that he's an alien. So for him, he has a process, and there's a bunch of things that need to make sense before he even commits himself to something. And I don't know, man. He did a verse and he just didn't like it, and for me, it was like, I don't give a shit. Like he was like, no, I don't like it. I was like, well, let me hear it. And when I heard it, I understood what he didn't like about it, but I didn't give a shit. It's him. I mean, he just sounds good. You know, he sounds good, and like his perspective is amazing. And then like he just really went in and challenged himself, and he just came back with like the GOAT verse. That's the GOAT verse, bro.
Is there anything else you can tell them about the album?
We made it for Corey Towns. We made it for Amy V, Junebug. We made it for our family right there in Philly and DC. We made this music for anybody that's going through something and just needs a mirror. Just look in it and see yourself and see the fucking potential. Like, we wouldn't be in this place right now if you guys recognize the ability that you have amongst yourselves to galvanize and stand up to this system, to stand up to all this injustice. All you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. If everybody stood up today right now and didn't go to work, yes, there would be repercussions for your families. But do you know the kind of repercussions it would be for this country? If you would just take 1 second and recognize your personal fucking potential and power, and how that can actually effectuate change. That's what we made this record for.